All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of Roundabout Sports presented by Harsh Construction LLC and Interstate 70 Sports Media, where our passion is our profession. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. It is a cold and kind of rainy night out. We are just a week and a day away from Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday of the year. And I'm excited, folks, for tonight because we do have a lot to talk about. Before I introduce, normally I'm joined alongside AB, Austin Bradley, my co-host and friend, but he is not here this evening. He has other commitments he's taking care of tonight. In his place is a good friend who is working his way towards the Interstate 70 Sports Media team. I'll introduce him shortly, but before I do, I have to get that usual spiel out of the way that we do for the past 153 episodes. This is episode 154. So Roundabout Sports can be found on Spotify, on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, on Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, and any and all other places that you stream your shows. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and X, and please subscribe on the official Interstate 70 Sports Media YouTube channel. So some of the things we're going to talk about: Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos last week, and it did not go well for the Chiefs at all. They're in rare territory right now, but allow me to bring on my friend and guest co-host for this evening. And he is a very busy man. He is also the co-host of the HSB podcast, and I do love his tag name, Chris Girl Dad Golf Guy Horton. Man, that just
I decided to
fast. How's it going, Chris?
It's going good, man. I tried to fit as many words as I possibly could in the name slot tonight. So
I love it. Nicknames and little tag names are something that we do have a lot of here at I-70. So, but how are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Like you said, I certainly have been busy. I know you have as well. End of the year in my business, my 9 to 5, my pay the bills job. End of the year is always crazy. Lots of traveling, lots of wrapping things up, and even kind of setting ourselves up for the beginning of 2026. So been busy, but yeah, I'm excited to be here. I appreciate the chance to talk with you a little bit.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. I know we've been wanting to get you on, and I know later in a few minutes we're actually going to have another guest of ours join, and I'll be able to promote him and a lot of the work he does. So give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I do want us to talk about is last week's game, week 11, between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Now, I think heading into this matchup, a lot of people expected early on, they expected the records to be reversed, whereas Denver came in with an 8-2 record, and the Chiefs, on the other hand, are now third in the AFC West, something we have not seen in a long time. They are 5-5 now. They lost 2 in a row. And this is the thing, Chris, they're 4-1 at home, but they're just 1-4 on the road. And that is a very telling thing, because even if they make the playoffs, they're not going to be a number 1 seed, which is the only seed that matters when it comes to true home field advantage here.
Right. Yeah. I think if you look at the numbers, they're not playing that bad. If you look at their point differential, if you look at the way the defense has been playing, they're playing pretty good. Every game they've lost, it's been a 1-score game. right? Like, so they're
Right.
in every game that they're playing. They're obviously a talented team. They haven't been able to put all the pieces together all at once. Some of that's due to injury and suspension with Rashee Rice and some guys on the offensive side of the ball. But they're in every game, and I think obviously Patrick Mahomes is probably the main reason for that. The guy is a magician when it comes to moving the pocket, extending plays, things like that. They're in every game, which is good. But it is uncharted territory for them since he took over. And as a Chiefs fan, you know, I'm obviously, it's hard not to be frustrated, especially when they've been right there. Like, even though I've got stats and scores and stuff pulled up, they've been in all of these games, and I'm looking at it, and like, in my opinion, based on what I saw, what I was watching, they should have won the Jaguars game. They should have won the Broncos game, and arguably the Eagles game. All of those games, the Eagles, they lost by 3. The Jaguars, they lost by 3, and the Broncos, they lost by 3. So it's untimely turnovers. It's not taking advantage of turnovers that they get when they get it, when they get the ball back, and they just have to be able to capitalize. And I like that they're healthy now, but yeah, they just don't seem to be able to capitalize when they have the opportunity.
Well, and I think the most you talk about how they're not completely out of it in a lot of these games, but I think that is the reversal of fortune from last season. Last year they were 11-0 in one-score games, which I mean, look right there, 11 wins. Well, this year it is the complete opposite. They're 0-5, and we take a look at the Chiefs. There's just no spark on this offense. And I don't know if it's the protection issues, losing, whether it be Worthy for a few weeks, not having Rashee Rice for the first, good chunk of the season, the lack of a true consistent run game. It's just the best way I can describe it is nobody is afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs offense anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And I think the run game piece is really important because in the past, and I would say not even just last year, you pointed to they were 11-0 in one-score games. I would say that over basically the entirety of their run, over the last 5-6 years, they find a way to win those games. This year, they're finding a way to lose those games. And so, they're not out of the playoff picture, but they are on the outside looking in, and they're going to have to basically win out to have a shot at the playoffs. And that's not going to be easy. They got the Colts, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chargers, the Titans, the Broncos again, and the Raiders. And so there's really only 2 games in there that look like they would be the favorites in those games. But back to the run game, Pacheco has been in and out, been hurt, which has kind of been a story of the last few years for him. And Kareem Hunt is a workhorse. He's a physical runner, but he's not going to break 40-yard runs. They have to find a way to get Pacheco going when he's healthy. And they have to get back to just taking what the defense gives them. There's not a lot of that going on. They're taking a lot of shots that aren't hitting, and receivers have been dropping a lot of passes, which has been kind of an ongoing issue over the last few years as well.
Yeah, and I take also the look into the fact that they did use a first-round pick on Clyde Edwards-Helaire a few years ago, and that just didn't pan out at all. And it's funny because, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 45 times in Sunday's loss to Denver. Mm-hmm. Now, look, Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball a lot isn't always the worst thing in the world, but the problem is he didn't throw because it was working. He was throwing because he had to, because there is no intimidation with this running game.
Nope.
They have no problem. It's kind of usually a lot of teams that have a struggling passing game, a lot of those teams will stack the opposing defenses will stack the box against those opposing running backs. I think when Lamar Jackson was hurt, Derrick Henry was a prime example. Opponents would stack the box against him. For the Cleveland Browns, look, they have a terrible quarterback situation going on right now. But so Quinshawn Judkins, who's been having a great rookie year, but they still stack the defenses stack the box against him. So it proves that you really do need a balanced attack here, because Denver didn't even give a second thought on the chance that the running game would do anything. And a balanced attack needs to be installed as they head into week 12, because like you said, Chris, the schedule's getting tougher. The matchup, the Colts matchup is going to be huge. This Denver matchup was, to me, one of their last grasps at getting to the division, to the top of the AFC West. I think this killed that hope. I know everybody's going to say, well, anything can happen, which is true, but you look at teams like the Broncos and the Chargers. The Broncos, Broncos and Chargers are on a bye this week. So the Chiefs do have a chance to make up some ground here with a victory. But I look at what's going on with the Broncos. Yeah, the offense isn't anything to write home about. The defense is lights out, and the offense is clutch. Bo Nix has been absolutely clutch in the fourth quarter. The Chargers have an electric offense that offsets some of its struggling defense. And every time a running back has gone down this year for them, the next man up has stepped up, whether it be Hampton or Vidal. It has worked. Whatever is going on for these two teams has worked, and for the Chiefs, it has not.
Yeah, I think the Bo Nix point is really well said, because if you think to the fourth quarter, that last drive, that throw that he made to put them down at whatever it was, the 20-yard line or 15-yard line, it was a dime. Like, he just dropped it right in the receiver's lap. And those plays are working for the other teams that are playing against the Chiefs, and they're not working for the Chiefs. And either it's the receivers dropping the ball, or Mahomes getting pressured, or a misthrow. I'm looking at the season stats right now. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco are both averaging over 4 yards a carry, which, around the league is pretty standard, but it's not bad. If you think 4 yards a carry, you run it on first and second down, you're at 3rd and 2, right? You should be able to convert that. Or you run it on first down, do a little play action or screen pass or whatever on second down. You're usually going to be in third and manageable situations. The pressure on Mahomes is more than it usually is. And I also don't want to take away from the other teams in that, like, Denver and the Chargers are just better than they have been. When you say no one's afraid of the Chiefs anymore, like, the Chiefs have kind of been doing the Chief thing for a long time now, and the other teams have improved, kind of caught on to what they do, and it's not working the same that it has. So as a Chiefs fan, it's frustrating. As a fan of football, it's really interesting to watch, because, people love the dynasty to fall, right? People love the fall of greatness. Before it was Tom Brady, people just hated Tom Brady because he couldn't stop winning. Now it's Mahomes, and I'm in the podcast that I'm a part of is my fantasy league. We've been going for 8 or 9 years, and we just get together and chat about sports and life and stuff as well. But I'm the only Chiefs fan in there, and I get in our group text message, our group thread, I just get blasted every week with Chiefs hate and Patrick Mahomes hate, and it's just funny to me, because he is the next, like, great quarterback after Brady. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years or 5 years or whatever it was is crazy. It's unheard of.
Well, go ahead.
No, that's it. It's just people like to see the dynasty fall.
Well, I wanted to bring the point that, and folks, be sure to send in your comments. We'll be getting a lot of comments sent in live, and John is one that just sent in one to us that says, Mahomes can't keep using the same plays for years on years. Teams are going to catch on. And it's true because here's the thing. Kareem Hunt, for example, was the only running back on the Chiefs last week to get a carry for the team. He got 13 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. When speaking to the press about it, Andy Reid had even said there were plays that we had designed as far as like running plays go. But the problem is the struggles of the offense had made them turn into pass plays. Either the protection broke down, the defense sniffed it out easily enough. Like they just did not get a chance to run these plays. So you're left with basically 13 running plays, from out of the running back, position.
Which you're in 90% of the time in the NFL, you're not going to win if you only run 13 times. You just aren't. Playing on Madden, sure, but that's not real.
Shoot, Madden, I'm always run. I'm a big runner when it comes to it. It's my friends are the ones that are great when it comes to passing the ball, Madden.
There were a couple of plays in the Denver game as well as the Bills game that I saw. And I'm also a Mizzou fan. I'm assuming there's a lot of Mizzou fans that are following the channel and watch the show.
Oh yeah.
Mizzou notoriously in the past has been a lot of slow developing plays. A lot of RPOs that just take a long time to develop, right? And they've gotten in trouble. I started to see a little bit of that over the last few games from the Chiefs as well. I'm like, we know that the offensive line is not what it's been. And if that's true, you can't mix in a lot of those slow developing plays, like RPOs that take a long time to get going. You just can't do. Mahomes is going to get killed. Or the handoff is going to get fumbled, or the pressure is just, it's more than what it's been because the line is not as good as it's been. And so we really, in the offseason, have to look at offensive line as a priority, in my opinion.
I do think one of the biggest things is the offensive line reshuffling. And I'm sorry, Jawan Taylor. It's just not working out, man. I don't care what anybody says, it isn't.
Talented guy has to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, or you think having guys like Orlando Brown at the time, like when you had guys like Orlando Brown and Joe Thuney, you'd think you would want to keep them as a part of this team.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Yeah, it's the Joe Thuney one was big. I mean, I don't think it can be overstated how big of a loss that was. The consistency that guys like that bring, the presence, the leadership, all of that plays a part in this. And when you can't keep that core together, it's going to have a big impact on you. And that's unfortunate. And I think we're seeing the results of that. And it's not nearly as fun to watch. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a lackluster, because then you take into a look at the schedule. And last week on the show with AB, we had talked about some of these upcoming games. The Chiefs got on the 23rd, for example, they got the Colts. Well, then just a few days later, they're going to have the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
In Dallas.
In Dallas. You still got the Chargers. You still got the Broncos again on Christmas. I mean, this is not an easy stretch for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you're already 4 games behind out of first. And you have lost, so far you've lost both to the Broncos and the Chargers once each already.
Yeah, it's
the season ends today. The Chiefs are not in the playoffs. It's official. It's not us giving a theory. It's not us giving a prediction. It's literally fact that if the season ended today, the Kansas City Chiefs are out of the playoffs. They are technically, I believe they're the 8th seed, if you want to be technical. They're, obviously top 7 seeds. You get the 4 division winners and then 3 wild cards. But right now, the Chiefs are either the 8 or the 9 seed, but they are looking
ESPN has them listed at 9. They have the same record
so
as the Texans.
Must be ahead of them. Yeah, I was going to say the Texans are probably the ones ahead of them. So that makes it even worse if you ask me.
Right. So you're I mean, you're not like that far out of a playoff spot, but again, you have a really tough schedule and the only 2 games, and I don't even know at this point that you can call them gimmies because it's the NFL, right? Like anything can happen. You've got the Titans in Tennessee, which the Titans are a mess. And you've got the Raiders in Vegas. And that's a rivalry game. And it's the last game of the season, and you never know what's going to happen there.
The Raiders, this is the funny thing. Okay, the Titans, they are as close to a gimme game as you can get.
Yep.
Except the Arizona Cardinals, unless you ask them. But then you go to the Raiders. What's funny is that of all the teams the Raiders struggle against, they play the Chiefs tough. And they
pretty much every time.
And they've beaten the Chiefs 2 notable times over the past few seasons, and most notably on Christmas 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And outside of the blowout win that the Chiefs had against them last year, oh no, it was this year. My fault. It feels like last year. That's how far it's been since the Chiefs have won a game, I feel like. Outside of the shutout win earlier this year, I'm thinking back, and I can't think of a game where the Raiders weren't at least putting up a good fight against the Chiefs. And, if you, again, those are the 2 games that I would say, okay, we can probably count them as wins. But, even though the Cowboys aren't great, you're in Dallas. The Colts are really good. The Texans are a whole lot better than they have been. The Chargers beat you earlier this year. Now you have them at Arrowhead, which is good. You're in Tennessee, which really doesn't matter. And then Denver comes to Arrowhead. So the home field advantage piece is really the only thing you have going, because you've got the Colts at home, you've got the Texans at home, you've got the Chargers at home, and you've got the Broncos at home. So your 4 hardest games you've got at home, which is good. So that's really, at the moment, the way they're playing, the only hope that I see for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, look, say what you want about the whole AFC West thing. I think the Week 6 loss on Monday night to the Jaguars could be the thing that keeps them from the whole playoff contention.
Outside of the Super Bowl last year, I have not seen a Chiefs loss that has pissed me off more than that one.
The amount of just clumsiness, I will be honest, say what you want, that play, and you know exactly which one I'm talking about, with Trevor Lawrence, so many things went wrong in it for the sake of for the Chiefs. Yeah, that is a momentum killer.
Yeah,
right there.
It's like the football gods were like, yeah, you've won enough. We're gonna make sure that Trevor Lawrence gets in the end zone here. I was celebrating. The play started, he tripped. I'm like, oh, yep, here we go.
It's over. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would take it all over.
Yep. And then he made it in the end zone. Like, I just can't. Again, outside of the Super Bowl, that was just disastrous. I can't recall a Chiefs game that has made me more mad than that one.
Well, you know what? As much as I love it, especially with you being a Chiefs fan, I love your input on the Chiefs' performance last week and up to the point this season. But I want to bring in now our other guest for the evening. We've been a longtime listener, longtime fan. I've been on his show too, and once again, just like you at the end of the show, we're going to plug your show on the HSB podcast. But we're going to talk a lot about his show, our upcoming guest show, and that being our dear friend Poolside Pat. So Pat, we're going to bring you in now It is great to finally have you on the show here.
Man.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good to see both of you. Chris Horton, correct?
Yeah, good to meet
Shout
you,
out
Pat.
to you, man. I am so grateful to be here. This is what a show. Jeremy, you're the man, the maestro. Yeah, I'm ready to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm here. I'm ready to go, and
So,
I can't believe I'm here. That's awesome.
so it's great to have you. So the first thing we're talking about, we're kind of reeling off the Chiefs' loss to the Denver Broncos a couple days ago, and this puts them at, and we've established that it puts them at the 9 seed now,
Mhm.
which only top 7 teams get into the playoffs. I mean, they've lost to the Chargers and the Broncos. They're 4 games out of first place. It's week 12 this week, and they play the 9-2, or they play the Red Hot Colts, who I think,
8-2.
they're 8-2. They had a bye
Very
week
good,
this week.
yeah. Yep.
So my question to you, Pat, is this: if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, are we hitting panic mode, or like what are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm a Raiders fan. With unfortunately, I'm
I'm a
a
Browns
Las
fan,
Vegas fan.
so I mean, welcome to my world.
Yeah, so we're all yeah.
Chris is
I'm a
the only
Saint,
one that's lucky.
I didn't realize what I was walking into in terms of fandom. Maybe we should center the last half of the conversation on the factory of sadness and whatever the Raiders are.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I am what I mean, I'm also here. I have to do this. You know I have to. I don't know if I can get it up. Uh, the
Oh yeah.
Cardinals. Yeah,
Yep, you're
I
Cardinal
am a Saint.
tattoo.
I'm a St. Louis Cardinals diehard.
At least you
Yeah,
got that
I
going
mean,
for you.
what's that?
I said, at least you got that going for you.
Yeah, there you go. It's weird, isn't it weird right now with the whole Chiefs thing? Like 5-5, first time in like ever. Um, with Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the AFC West being good, other than the Raiders. Um, with the what 9-2 Broncos? Do I have
Yeah,
that right?
Broncos are 9.
Yeah.
Broncos and Patriots lead the AFC at 9-2.
And then what, the 7-3 Chargers?
7-4, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like we're in a weird spot, boys. We're in a really weird spot, but I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me, and I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, but like there's a part of me that thinks the Chiefs are still gonna just eventually make their way to the Super Bowl. I don't know. Whatever. But the Broncos and Chargers are right there, right? Like, what are you gonna do?
I tell you what, I'm looking at the preview on ESPN and the Colts Chiefs, and
Ooh,
I'm looking at the stats right now, and Daniel Jones, 2,659 yards, 15 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 2,625 yards, 18 touchdowns. Pretty close stat wise.
wow! Oh wow!
And then you get to rushing yards.
Oh no. Oh boy.
The Chiefs
Oh
leading
no!
rusher is
What are we
Kareem
doing?
Hunt with 353, which is
Don't
pathetic.
do it.
And Jonathan Taylor, 1,139 yards with 15
Oh
touchdowns.
my gosh!
If the Chiefs,
What a thing!
if the Chiefs make it so Daniel Jones is the one that has to beat them, then there's that combined with being at home, there's a decent shot. And
Yeah.
Pat, I as a fan, I appreciate your even though it's downtrodden and said out of disdain, your belief that they'll end up somewhere positive at the end of the season. I don't share it at the moment.
Oh no!
I
I
think it
hope
would be a
not.
miracle if they make the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and wouldn't that be
Terrible,
and
awful.
and Chris, who do you root for? I'm sorry.
I'm a Chiefs fan.
Oh, okay. Oh. So you don't think that this is happening?
Dude, so this is funny. A few episodes ago on our show, we were talking about, do you remember the first NFL jersey that you had? And I'm old enough. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised, still live here.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm old enough to remember the Cardinals being here, playing football in Old Busch Stadium, and the heartbreak that caused my father as a lifelong Big Red fan when they left, and then the whole Rams debacle. But the first NFL jersey I ever had was a Joe Montana Chiefs jersey.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
And I remember vividly my father saying how big of a deal, like talking about how big of a deal it was that the Chiefs got Joe Montana, because at the time he was the GOAT. He was the greatest quarterback of all time.
He's
And
arguably still.
right. And so the Chiefs have kind of always been sitting right there for me, and seeing where they're at now. I don't think this is like the beginning of the end of the dynasty, like we were talking about earlier. I don't think
Right.
that. I think this is a year where they realize what shifts they have to make for the future to continue playoff pushes and being, favored in the division. But this year, I think it got away from them. I think it got away from them, and kind of is what it is.
Here's my thing. When I look at where you talk about with Daniel Jones and forcing him to throw the ball, yeah, as great as the Colts have been, Daniel Jones, and who to me is a comeback player of the year candidate, he has made a lot of Daniel Jones-esque turnovers over the past few weeks. The Colts, I will say, I'm not saying like Jonathan Taylor to me, I wrote about this on I-70, to me is an MVP candidate. He should be treated with that respect, and especially 100%. For offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
The Colts don't get to 7-4 without him. And but the thing of it is, I like the idea of forcing Daniel Jones to throw the ball, because also you got to take into account the Chiefs' defensive issues, honestly, are behind the front seven. Once you get to the back end, once you get to the pass defense, that is where the struggle comes in. The defensive line, to me, has been lights out. I do think Nick Bolton has dipped, but I also think he's an all-pro in the sense that, if a great player has been doing so great that he struggles a little bit more, it still doesn't necessarily mean he's doing bad. It's just not up to what he usually does. And that's where I think Nick Bolton is at this year. The rest of the, the linebackers and the D-line, to me, I mean, like we've said, they're 0-5 in one-score games, but the fact that they've had 5 one-score games to even be in the first place, is telling of the fact.
And by the way,
year, go ahead, Pat.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I mean, because you're talking about the Chiefs, they this is unbelievable. The 0-5 this year, but last year they 12-0, right? 12-0, I think it was something.
11-0.
11-0. Thank you. Like that's insane.
Yeah. We said it earlier. Last year they found ways to win games. This year they're finding ways to lose them. And I mean they're 4-1 at home, which is great. But I'm glad you're enjoying that, Pat. You just enjoy it while it lasts, my friend.
I'm a Raiders fan. Right?
I know.
It's small victories, man.
I'm a St. Louis Cardinals, and I'm a Raiders fan. All right.
After the show, I'll screenshot the stats of the 31-0 win and send them to you, just so you can hold on to that. And it's a little gift from me. It's an early Christmas present for you.
Can we? I want to say this. Hang on. I want all of us to really. We've talked about the running game. We've talked about the defense. We've talked about injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about Patrick Mahomes for a second here?
Ooh, I like
Because
this. Yeah.
Step lightly, my friend.
this is the thing. Exactly. Here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes, when you really think about it, last week, he went 29 of 45 for 276 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Nothing terrible by any means. Nothing to write home about, go crazy about. But notice during the first possession, how wide open was Xavier Worthy on that pass that Patrick Mahomes missed him on?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, he's missing throws he doesn't usually miss.
Yeah.
I do think the pressure's getting to him in ways that it hasn't gotten to him in the past. And when it has gotten to him in the past, they've usually lost the game. When he's been as pressured as he has been, what feels like every week in and week out, they have not fared well because they're a timing team. It's all about rhythm. Like they're quick slants to Kelsey or those play action passes to Worthy or Rice on the outside. Like it's all about timing. The Rams went through the same thing when the greatest show on turf was going, and they lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. It was because they were disrupting their timing. They were getting physical with them.
Wow,
they were pressuring them in ways that they hadn't been pressured before. And the same thing is happening right now. And the biggest difference that I can say is Andy Reid is the most adaptable coach in NFL history, probably, who is just an offensive genius. And when he sees weaknesses, he figures out ways to cover them up. And so the question is, can they stay healthy enough on the offensive side of the ball to cover up the weaknesses that they see? And can they get their timing issues worked out? Because he's going to be pressured the rest of the year. Their offensive line just isn't that good. So can they figure out ways to extend the play, move the pocket, and get their timing back so they can beat the Chiefs again?
Well, if anything, I would say run more play action. Like, this is the thing. If you run more out of the play action, or even have to throw in some RPOs out there, because this is the thing. Teams are not afraid to blitz the Chiefs anymore. And instead of saying, and look, in a way, it's not even because of Patrick Mahomes. It's because of the offensive line that's in front of him. They're thinking, okay, this is not this top five. This isn't the Eagles' offensive line. We're not worried about them. We'll send 7 guys if we have to. And Patrick Mahomes is in the position where, excuse me, he may only have 2-3 seconds to try to make the play. And I want to take a look at the final 2 possessions against the Broncos. I know there's obviously been so many other games, but this last week's game that just stands out so much above the rest. Final 2 possessions, one of them with 4:10 left in the game, which in Patrick Mahomes' time is like an eternity. That is all the time in the world for a team like Mahomes and the Chiefs. They went 3 and out both times. On the last possession, 2 incompletions to Travis Kelce, and on 3rd down, he took a sack. When does that happen with this team?
And that's what I'm saying. Their timing is off. Receivers are dropping passes. I have his season stats pulled up right here because I was curious when you said that. He's 4th in passing yards. He's 7th in touchdowns. He's 3rd in QBR for the season. So what that tells me is he's not playing that bad. He's being a little let down. Now, I don't think he's playing up to the level that he has played in the past. And he will, because he's a good leader, he'll take responsibility for it, which he has been. And so is Andy Reid. If they can't fix the offensive line, which I don't think they can this year, then they have to find ways to use Kareem Hunt as an extra blocker, use screen passes, get if teams are rushing 7 guys and they have 4 receivers on the line, someone most likely is going to be open. A quick slant, a screen pass, whatever. Like they just have to get creative, and Andy Reid is the best at doing that. So that's not a homer talking. That's not a fan talking. Like, I've watched this team week in and week out for years now. That's just what they do. They adapt. And if they don't start that this week, their season's done. If it's a must win.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
100% a must win. They're 500.
Wow.
They're one game. Technically, they're one game.
That's
Really, it's
quick.
2 games
Yeah.
out of the playoffs.
Yeah. I think I'd agree
like-
with you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, their toughest 4 games left they have at home.
Mhm.
They have to win minimum 3 of those 4.
At least. Yeah.
If we are considering, and this is no disrespect, I'm not being silly. If we consider the Titans a win, and we consider the Raiders a win,
Yes.
and they win,
You can consider that a win.
and they win 3 of these 4 games at home, that
Mhm.
leaves the Cowboys
Oh, which might be tough.
in Dallas
That might
on
be tough,
Thanksgiving Day.
man. I think that I know they just beat a bad Raiders team, but that defense looks
Okay, can I say
better.
something about the Cowboys here? Because here's my thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I can't stay. This is funny. God bless. My late great grandpa. He's my grandpa, but he was great. Anyway, point being, he was a huge Cowboys fan. Cowboys fan. Dad and I cannot stand the Cowboys. We think Jerry Jones belongs in an insane asylum. He's absolutely nuts. But
Essentially, yeah. Yeah.
is it just me, or is this Micah Parsons trade actually kind of working out right now?
I
mean, say what you want. Micah Parsons isn't on any leaderboards this season. The Packers aren't in, prime position for a playoff spot right now.
That's a great
now,
take. That's a great take.
I was going to say, when you take a look at it, I mean, obviously this is more of something that's for a down the road talk.
Yeah.
But this Dallas Cowboys team isn't also even mainly made to win years down the road. They're putting all their chips in right now. And Dak
they look good.
Better than almost any quarterback in the league right now.
But they look good right now. Just saying.
Dude,
and they look good right now. And you, like I said, or like you said, the Raiders aren't that good.
Yeah,
so
it was Raiders are very bad.
Now, but it is any given Sunday, because guess what?
That's true.
The Cowboys could easily beat the Chiefs, and yet the Cowboys were the same team that got stomped on by the Broncos.
See, wow.
It goes. So then it's like, okay, well then wait a minute. Does that mean Dallas better? It brings up those discussions. Who's the better team in the whole scenario?
Yeah.
The bottom line is that, to Chris's point, if Kansas City loses to the Colts this week,
let me share this.
I mean, this is the week. The reason I think it is all this week or not is because the Broncos and Chargers are off. This is the week to catch some ground here.
Yeah.
You can go into week 13, be 3 games, you back out of first, go into Thanksgiving. If you upset the Cowboys, and at this point, it almost might be considered an upset if you win, then bam, suddenly, okay, we're back in it. You're 7-5. Now you got some good winnable games against the Texans, the Titans. We're getting somewhere. But wait a minute. Now, if you lose this week to the Colts, you're 5-6. You go down to 5-7. Get the dagger. You are done.
Yeah, I will say, just for the record, I absolutely hate the Cowboys. I hate Jerry Jones. I do. This is. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this take. So you let me know. Jerry Jones is a horrible owner in that he won't let go of control of things he doesn't need to be controlling.
Dan's comment.
He's a great owner in that he cares as much as he does, because he wants to win football games. I just think he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
That's a great take, Chris.
The Cowboys suck. There are so many comments right now about the Cowboys sucking. Everyone who's saying that, you're right. I hate them. They're awful. They are not America's team. They're not. It's not a thing anymore.
Nope.
They either beat teams they're not supposed to beat, or they lose to teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Like, they've lost to the Cardinals. They've lost to the Panthers. They should win those games. They also were one score away from beating the Eagles. It's
after a 5-year reign. Also, you know what? That's another thing. Also, you talk about the Panthers. A quick side note: the Panthers are an anomaly because somehow they've beaten the Packers, the Falcons, and the Cowboys this year.
Yeah.
Like, the Panthers have found themselves in the NFC wildcard race.
Yeah.
And I know that's a talk for another day, but I do find it amazing that go ahead, Pat. What you got?
I was just gonna say, I have my power rankings. We can whenever this is your show, Jeremy. I have my power rankings that I would like to share with y'all because I think both of you are the exact people that should hear my power rankings. But we don't do it right now. I'm just saying, just wanted to make sure that
this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do We're gonna do a couple. We're gonna call an audible here because it is time for it's well past time to do my favorite segment on the show, and then after this, we will do your power rankings. You will get to do them, okay?
By the way, thank you for having me, Jeremy. You're the man. You know I love you. Chris, you are a freaking badass, Chris. Thank you. You're the man, dude. Seriously.
Chris coming on late notice today has been so grateful to have him as a part of this.
So good, man.
Such a blessing.
You know what the heck you're talking about, dude.
Now, gentlemen, it is now time to do my favorite segment here on Roundabout Sports. That is known as Just How Bad Do the New York Jets Suck? Oh, man. Where every week, it was more fun during the baseball season because we did this about the Colorado Rockies. But
I can't wait for
the
baseball
New York
season.
Jets. Now, last week was a little different for me. It was difficult because last week turned into just how bad did the Cleveland Browns suck because they lost to the New York Jets. But the Jets did so badly against the Patriots last week. They benched Justin Fields, and they're starting Tyrod Taylor this week against the Baltimore Ravens because if there's anybody that you want to test drive your quarterback out on after not starting for a while, it's the Baltimore Ravens who are on a big-time hot streak right now.
So they're starting 58-year-old Tyrod Taylor.
Yes, 58-year-old Tyrod Taylor, who's almost gotten killed by the medical staff of the Chargers, and has probably gotten concussed on every team he's been on. The New York Jets currently have a very impressive record of bad and bad, that being 2-8, which is behind the Dolphins 4-7, which means, holy crap, the Dolphins won 4 games. But the New York Jets has scored only 209 points this season. They're 1-5 at home, 1-3 on the road. They've allowed 268 points, which is one of the highest totals in the AFC as of this week. It is amazing to me that this is even happening, that Aaron Glenn still has a job. Also, we are coming off the heels of a week in which both Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner were traded away. Because why not? Why not trade your defensive studs and leave Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, which, by the way, Garrett Wilson's out a few weeks and Breece Hall struggled. So, yeah, basically the Jets suck. Oh, we might as well just go into the fact that they got the Ravens, then the Falcons, then the Dolphins, the Patriots again. Yeah, I'm not in a few weeks after that. So basically, the Jets suck. That is my segment. Thank you all for tuning into it.
Listen, you will get no disagreement with me on how bad the Jets suck. Like they're bad.
Bad.
They're really bad.
So
Very bad.
I want to. Can I surprise you with something real quick?
surprise me.
Sure.
Go for it.
There are 6 teams who have scored fewer points than the Jets, and there are 6 teams who have allowed more points than the Jets. And
Oh, no way.
they don't have the worst record in the NFL.
What?
Yeah, the
They don't.
Titans, I think, have the worst at 1-9. And
Oh,
just
I have no idea.
The Titans are
Raiders.
one fumble away from being winless. That is the funniest part of this whole thing.
The Raiders are one of those things.
The Browns have scored 162 points. I know that, and they've only allowed 230. The Browns have one of the best. This is what's funny. Myles Garrett's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's on an absolute record-breaking tear.
That's true.
They have a top 3 defense, and they have the worst offense. That's what blows my mind.
Are they the actual worst, or is it the Raiders?
No, the Titans are the worst.
Titans are the worst.
Okay.
Browns,
Raiders,
Raiders, Titans. They're all the Saints.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom.
Right.
The Panthers, Falcons, Browns, Raiders, Saints, and Titans have all scored less than the Jets.
Okay.
The Falcons surprises me.
That is crazy.
The Falcons
crazy.
surprises me.
That is crazy.
But they have like 5 players that have torn their ACLs this year. Like
But when they've been healthy, that they the problem with the Falcons isn't that they don't score. The problem is they just allow more points. They have
you'll see it with my rankings. I just
all right. Well, you know what? Because
what was the defense?
Go for the defense. I want to hear the defense.
Okay, so points allowed. The Chiefs are 3rd in points allowed, by the way. So their defense is playing pretty well. The Jets have allowed 268 points. The Dolphins, Titans, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, and Bengals are ahead of them. The Bengals have allowed the most points in the NFL with 334, and they have a minus 106 point differential.
What? That's insane, dude. Oh my gosh.
And that's not even the worst point differential.
Who is the worst? Do you have that? Do you have that in front of you? The worst.
The Titans are minus 130.
Oh my god. All right. Well.
Okay.
Football is football.
Football's football. Before we close it out this week, because we still obviously got a few minutes to go, Pat, I'm giving you this floor because you have your power rankings presented by the Duke of Slips, Poolside Pat Gambling, whatever you want to call it. Go for it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. This has been fun. I would love to come back. All right, so going to win the Super Bowl, just accept it. The Eagles. Super Bowl contenders: the Rams, the Seahawks, the Broncos, the Ravens, the Lions, Bills, Patriots, and Colts. I know it's a lot. Those are the Super Bowl contenders. Playoffs nearly locked: the Bears, the Chargers, and the 49ers. The playoffs possibly: Jaguars, Steelers, Bucks, and Texans. Fun and maybe playoffs plus Carolina Mike, the Panthers. Frisky maybe, the Dolphins. Jameis Winston, the Giants. Beat Jameis Winston, the Packers. Jacoby won Kenobi, the Cardinals. Might be in trouble, the Chiefs and Vikings. Do not understand them, the Falcons. Beat the Raiders, the Cowboys. They did. Forgot they were a team because of the bye, the Saints. I had a Saints fan that I know on the state of the Saints. He said, I'll plead the fifth. My next ranking is Myles Garrett is the Browns. Um, doesn't matter what Joe starts for them because their defense is really bad.
Oh
The
no.
Bengals. All hurt. The Commanders. Really bad but kind of fun. The Jets. And please God, no more. Haven't scored 30 points in 30 games. Please, no more. The Raiders. Yeah.
Solid.
So that's where I'm at.
I love it.
But doesn't hang on. I'm still cracking up at the one about the Joes. That's the one that got me. When he said,
Which one
doesn't
about the
matter
Joes?
which Joe is starting at quarterback.
Yeah, it doesn't
Now-
matter. Yeah, that's their ranking. Their ranking is doesn't matter what Joe starts because their defense is awful. That's the
That's
Bengals.
right. That's the Bengals for you. Well,
Yep.
gentlemen, I can't thank you both enough for being on. Now, before once again I do my closing spiel, which I always love doing. Pat, we're going to start with you. Tell us about your show that you always do, where we can find it, and
Thank you, man.
go from there.
I appreciate you letting me do that. Yeah, I do a gambling show most days at Just the Bet Slips. That's where you can find us. We are presented by Fans First Sports Network for now. Fans First SN. Yeah, we give you gambling picks every day for all of the sports, and but I mean I love this. I want to do this more. So Jeremy, you already know. But yeah, no, just the bet slips, and there might be other stuff coming soon, but for now it's just that, and I love this. This has been fun, man. I want to do this more. So shout out to you and Roundabout Sports.
Well, thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon, and we will get this going. All right, my friend? All right.
Absolutely.
Poolside Pat, ladies and gentlemen, here on Roundabout Sports.
Shout out Chris. Chris, you're the man.
See you, buddy.
See you later, bud. Man, Chris, what a night we've had. Now, Chris, tell us about your show. Tell us where folks can find you. I know we're working on getting you to be a part of the I-70 Sports Media family as well.
Yeah. I appreciate the time. Like Pat said, it's been fun. Love doing this. Anytime you need someone or want to have me on, I'm here for it, man. So HSB, the podcast, is where you can follow us on all platforms. Shows on YouTube. We don't live stream it. We record it. And it is, like I said, it's our fantasy league. We're a fantasy baseball league and football league. So we talk sports, we talk fantasy sports. We kind of open up our chat and it gets a little crazy from time to time, but we're pretty new still. So we're working on a regular rhythm and routine for it, and getting the guys scheduled. There's 10 guys in our league. Not everyone shows up all the time, but sometimes there's 2 of us, sometimes there's 3 of us, sometimes there's 4 of us. So it kind of varies from time to time, but I, like Pat said, I too am also working on some other stuff. I appreciate the shout out for my handle when we got started, because my daughter, who's 6, recently started playing golf, and her and I are going to start documenting our golf journey together. So Girl Dad Golf is going to start to be a thing. I just started the Instagram channel today. So if you want to follow me at HSB the podcast and Girl Dad Golf Guy, you can follow me there, and there will be some content coming your way that way. So yeah, and excited for any chance I get to partake and participate with I-70. So I'm excited, man.
Well, perfect. And folks, as always, you can find Roundabout Sports on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, anywhere and everywhere you stream your podcast. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, X, and the Interstate 70 Sports Media YouTube channel. And when I mean follow us on Facebook and X, Interstate 70 Sports Media has a Facebook and an X page. Roundabout Sports has a Facebook page. I feel like I do got to specify with that. But yes, go to Interstate 70 Sports Media on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Spread the word. Old school's cool with the word of mouth method. And as always, I want to talk about our sponsor, Harsh Construction LLC. So Harsh Construction LLC is located in the bi-state area. They have over 50 years combined experience on construction, on landscaping, remodeling, work such as that when it comes to homes. Be sure to call at 618-363-9818. That is 618-363-9818 today for a free quote. That is Harsh Construction LLC, a proud sponsor of Interstate 70 Sports Media.
Needed
As
to
always,
reconstruct the Chiefs' offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. Build them up. As always, we put up the NAMI helpline at the end of the show. And for that, you can dial 1-800-950-NAMI. That is 1-800-950-NAMI. The National Alliance on Mental Illness is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives and helping those who struggle with mental health issues, as well as their families. And of course, we always put up at the end of every show the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. For that, you dial 988. The line is open 24/7, 365, 366 on leap years. Understand you're never alone in this world. There is always somebody out there who loves you, who cares about you, who wants nothing but the best for you. We all go through trials and tribulations and struggles, through our daily lives. And your feelings are valid and your emotions are valid as well, but they don't need to be struggles and issues that need to be faced alone. You are just a phone call, a text message, an appointment, an email, anything, any form of communication away from getting the help you need that could be that life-saving moment. And you could also be the listening ears and watchful eyes for somebody else as well. I want to thank once again my friend Chris Grill Dad Golf Guy Horton for joining me today. And until next week, by the way, folks, episode 155, we will have Brandon Aarons, professional wrestler, on. Looking forward to having AB back. And until then, folks, I'm the Maestro Jeremy Karp. And remember, life is a book full of empty pages just waiting to be written in. Make your lives worth reading.